Capitol tonight. Well, Andrew Cuomo is a very big fan of commissions and task forces, and he has tasked these ad hoc entities with finding solutions to some pretty sticky wickets, politically speaking, including Medicaid cuts and prison closures. Now, in his State of the State address last month, Cuomo announced the Spending and Government Efficiency Commission, referred to as SAGE for short. Its goal, government consolidation. And this is something Cuomo has been pushing since his Attorney General days. Now, over a month later, the commission has yet to meet. And my next guest would like to know what the holdup is. She is Buffalo area Republican Assemblywoman Jane Corwin. She is a member of the SAGE Commission. Assemblywoman, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you, Liz.
It's good to see you. So this thing sounded really sort of good at the outset. I think most people believe that government is probably pretty unwieldy and in need of some downsizing. As I mentioned, the governor has been very focused on it. Has there been no word at all, period, for you guys?
Up until this point, I have not heard anything from the governor's office, no.
So there was a story in the Times-Union today about the holdup. Since the story appeared, have you heard anything?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
Okay. So
and I have been checking my messages.
Right. So far, nothing. When you heard, when it was pitched to you and you were asked to serve, what exactly did they say that this commission was going to be doing?
Well, pretty much what you had said. It's spending and government efficiency. The commission is directed to reduce the number of commissions and agencies and so on by 20%, and to come up with a preliminary report this spring with a final report next year, 2012.
And the administration is saying that they would like to put some big names on here, that they're getting things together. What's the rush? Do you believe that they're lagging and dragging their feet in some way? And if so, why would they be doing that?
Well, honestly, I'm a little surprised that we haven't gotten started yet. Obviously, the Medicaid team and the mandate relief team are underway. But if you look at the timing of the three committees, the mandate team and the Medicaid team were tasked with having to come up with proposals in time for this upcoming budget. The SAGE Commission reports are due much later, and to be honest, I don't think that's such a bad thing in the sense that, we're talking about reforming government. We've got a lot of agencies, a lot of commissions. Government is really big and really expensive, and we need to downsize it. We need to make it more efficient for the taxpayers. And I don't think that's something you can do in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. I think it's going to take months of hard work. And so, at the same time, I wish we had gotten underway, and I'm certainly ready to get started right now. I do think that we need to have a little bit of a longer-term perspective on this commission versus the other two.
Right. I mean, the state has actually got more than 1,000 agencies, commissions, bureaus, divisions, councils, advisory panels, and authorities, just to be clear. So it is a lot to sift through. Do you have any early idea about where you would like to focus in terms of downsizing?
To be honest, at this point, I'm trying to, certainly look at everything ideally. And so at this point, what I'm doing in my office is we're going in and we're just basically researching and getting the background information on each of these entities. Of course, aside from the obvious concerns, how many state workers are working at each of these organizations, what are their functions, what are they doing, are they issuing debt? Because certainly that would have a play as to whether or not they can be consolidated or merged. But most importantly, looking at the labor issue, we want to make sure that whatever we come up with makes sense, that it does truly, cause government to be more efficient, and that it actually improves the delivery of services that we provide. So I think that, it's a big task. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of important work to be done. But certainly I do think that we need to get started right now.
As part of his sort of charm offensive, as we've been calling it, trying to woo state lawmakers and get them to support his budget proposals, the governor has hosted lawmakers in their conferences at the executive mansion. Just this week he had the Assembly Republicans for breakfast, and you were there, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the reports coming out of that breakfast was that the governor seemed to suggest that he would prefer a government shutdown to a late budget. Was that how you came away from his comments at that breakfast?
You know what? I don't remember it that way, to be perfectly honest. The question, I believe, was, what's going to happen on April 1st? And he, of course, jokingly said nothing. He said, but then there's April 2nd.
Right.
He never mentioned anything about a government shutdown. What he did say is that he would take the same tack that Governor Patterson did in the past in terms of sending budget extenders. So, that's my impression of what's going on. Certainly he's looking to take a hard line. There's a lot of, difficult parts of this budget, a lot of things that would make a lot of legislators unhappy. I give him credit for taking a hard line and trying to, force this issue. We can't let this budget drag on into the summer like it did last year.
So if, in fact, he did adopt that Patterson approach and put the budget, absent an agreement with the legislature, into extenders, that would be something that you think you could support?
Well, I mean, certainly it's something I'd be forced to vote on for each extender. I think that I certainly would like to avoid having to come down to that.
Sure.
But I think that, it certainly adds that sense of urgency to what we're doing now in February and March, rather than pushing it off until May and June. So, at the end of the day, we have to make decisions, and there are going to be some tough decisions. It's better to make them sooner rather than later, take the pain here and move forward and get onto a better path. We can't keep letting government go on the way it is.
I want to thank you very much, Assemblywoman Jane Corwin. It's good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. I appreciate your time.